Is China a superpower? That question is no longer just the subject of spirited social media debates, it's at the heart of strategic assessments in defense ministries across the world. While internet users trade barbs over GDP numbers and education rates, policymakers and military analysts are poring over satellite images, white papers, and weapons expos in places like Zhuhai and Wuhan to gauge what may be the most consequential transformation of a national defense system in the 21st century. China's public narrative often oscillates between modest claims of being a developing country and bold demonstrations of high-tech advancement. Yet, behind the rhetoric lies a far more complex story, one of deliberate, rapid modernization of its military-industrial apparatus, anchored by an increasingly sophisticated missile program. If you want to understand the trajectory of China's geopolitical ambitions, look not just at its factories or GDP but at the payload sitting inside its vertical launch silos and the scientific minds behind them. Missiles, for all their destructive potential, serve as an unambiguous language of capability. And in this language, China has been speaking louder and clearer with each passing year. The People's Liberation Army Rocket Force, PLARF, officially established in 2015, is now one of the most rapidly advancing missile forces in the world. It boasts a range of systems that are designed not just for regional security, but for strategic deterrence at the global level. Take, for instance, the DF-41 intercontinental ballistic missile. Capable of carrying multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, MIRVs, the DF-41 is believed to have a range of over 12,000 kilometers, theoretically placing most of the continental United States within reach. Although exact figures remain classified, open-source intelligence and U.S. military assessments suggest this missile is intended to create a credible second-strike capability, a pillar of modern nuclear deterrence. On the conventional front, the DF-26, often called the Guam Killer, demonstrates China's ambition to neutralize U.S. assets in the Pacific without engaging in a direct confrontation. With both nuclear and conventional variants, the DF-26 symbolizes Beijing's flexible deterrence strategy and its pivot toward dual-use capabilities that blur the lines between tactical and strategic response. China's investments in hypersonic glide vehicles have also rattled the international security community. The test of a fractional orbital bombardment system, FOBS, with a hypersonic re-entry vehicle in 2021 sent shockwaves through U.S. defense circles. While Chinese officials insisted it was merely a reusable spaceplane, defense analysts interpreted it as a major technological leap. Hypersonic weapons, capable of speeds exceeding Mach 5 while maneuvering in the atmosphere, represent a new frontier in arms competition. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles, they follow unpredictable paths, making them difficult to detect and nearly impossible to intercept with current missile defense systems. The US, Russia, and now China are locked in a race where milliseconds matter and margins of technological superiority are vanishing quickly. Land-based missiles are only part of the picture. The Type 055 guided missile destroyer, the largest and most advanced surface combatant China has ever built, symbolizes a broader naval strategy aimed at far-sea protection. With 112 vertical launch cells capable of firing a mix of cruise missiles, anti-air weapons, and potentially even anti-ship ballistic missiles, the Type 055 isn't just a ship, it's a mobile arsenal. The Shandong aircraft carrier, China's first domestically built flat-top, also reflects significant design evolution. While not yet on par with U.S. nuclear-powered carriers in terms of tonnage or launch technology, its integration of digital command networks, electromagnetic warfare capabilities, and advanced radar systems points to a steady climb in maritime competency. China's progress is not limited to state-on-state strategic competition. It's also revolutionizing warfare at the tactical level through unmanned aerial systems. The Rainbow, CH, series of drones, particularly the CH-5 and CH-7, has been exported to over a dozen countries, including Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, and Pakistan. At international air shows, Middle Eastern clients have been reported to barter oil directly for Chinese drones, circumventing Western sanctions and price tags. The United States, once the uncontested leader in UAV technology, now faces stiff competition from Beijing, not just in drone performance but in price, adaptability, and ease of deployment. This shift is more than symbolic. It suggests that Beijing is cultivating not just buyers but partners in a parallel arms trade ecosystem, one that doesn't depend on Washington's blessing. Technology isn't built in isolation. It's powered by people, and China has no shortage of scientifically literate citizens. With an estimated 200 million people having received at least secondary education, and the average years of schooling for younger generations exceeding 13.5 years, China has created an intellectual base that rivals and in some cases surpasses that of Europe. This talent pool fuels not just missile development but quantum computing, satellite engineering, and AI-driven command systems. In 2020, China's Zhejiang quantum prototype claimed to achieve quantum supremacy, performing calculations exponentially faster than traditional supercomputers. Western experts were divided on the claim's verifiability. But few denied that China had entered the top tier of global research institutions. A popular saying in international research circles now goes, "Detour if you see a Chinese team ahead, they're moving at rocket speed." While hyperbolic, the sentiment reflects a growing global recognition of China's pace and persistence in advanced scientific domains. Yet China remains a paradox. For every satellite launch from Wenchang, there's a rural classroom without adequate heating. For every hypersonic test flight, there are still millions of left-behind children and elderly living in China's mountainous west. These realities coexist in a vast country that is both technologically progressive and developmentally uneven, but the Chinese state has also shown a unique ability to address these contradictions with scale and speed. In places like Liangshan, Sichuan, smart bracelets monitor the vitals of elderly villagers while 5G base stations cling to cliffsides. These are not symbols of affluence, they are signals of state capacity and technical willpower. China's strategic influence is not limited to the military realm. Its cultural exports, from social media platforms like TikTok to viral food bloggers like Li Ziki, have unexpectedly reshaped perceptions abroad. A bacon recipe uploaded in a Sichuan kitchen can ignite economic activity in a remote county, while Paris fashion shows featuring Chinese porcelain patterns draw applause from European elites. Diplomatically, Beijing's role in mediating between Iran and Saudi Arabia in 2023, with nothing more than tea and persistence, signaled a new kind of soft power. Where the US offered arms, China offered conversation, and it worked. So, is China a superpower? That depends on how one defines the term. In purchasing power parity, China has surpassed the US. In nominal GDP, it still trails. Militarily, its reach is more regional than global, but its weapons systems, especially its missiles, are increasingly designed with global implications in mind. China may not yet dominate the world, but it is ensuring that no one else can dominate without considering its position. This is the age of multipolar deterrence. And whether observers in Washington, Brussels, or New Delhi like it or not, China is already a central figure in the script.